how's it going? It's Grant.
And I'm Tim.
And I'm with the Garden of Eater.
And I'm Crypt Keeper Aquatics.
And today we're going to be going over the American Shrimp Contest. We got quite a packed weekend. There was a little bit of a mishap with the shipping company and the venue. We had a box that was delivered on Friday, and all the other boxes arrived, no problem at all. At the end of the day, we got the shrimp into the tanks, and because it's a possibility I might have to judge and stuff like that, I don't necessarily find out whose shrimp or what or anything like that. And when we finally figured out whose shrimp were the ones missing in the tanks, I tracked them down, found out the tracking for the box had already been delivered. The staff for the hotel and the venue had already left. So the next morning, I quickly tracked down the staff. The judges were instructed to go back at a later date to judge these shrimp. I had to get the venue to go get a key, to go get a lockbox for the P.O. box unopened, to get the shrimp. The entire post office was closed, though, because it was Saturday. However, we were able to track down the postmaster, have them go get the package. And the only reason why they even did this was because I was like, there's shrimp in that box. You guys should have picked these up yesterday. And if they don't get in the tanks today, they're pretty much going to die. And when you put that critters are going to die in the same sentence and put the blame on another company, they make things happen. And we were able to get those shrimp, and we wanted them to have some time to adjust and acclimate before the judges. And they didn't have a chance to judge them until Sunday. And by the time we got everything added up with everything else going on, the Wi-Fi for the venue was not the best. The noise for the venue, like we did some filming of the contest so we could share that with you guys tonight, but we're going to mute it because it's just horrendous. There's a lot of background noise and stuff like that. So doing the live streams, I think, are a little bit better to give everybody the full credit. And Tim actually made it to this show, and his flight wasn't canceled fully. He was able to rebook this one, make it to the show, and help film out all the shrimp of the entire contest. So it's not just going to be a lame award ceremony where I mispronounce everybody's names. We've actually got shrimp to show. We're going to show off the footage of that first, and then I'll go over the awards first, second, and third for each category. And then big shout out to Aquascaping and Flip Aquatics for running the shrimp contest and putting it on, or organizing it and putting it on. Shelby and myself run it along help with all the volunteers. They are different for each show, but we did have Tim, Elijah, Ashley, and other Tim and his wife. Of course, the Bloomfields. They were the judges, and Lucas Bretts as well. So big shout out to everybody else for getting it all together. But thank you. Big thanks to Tim for filming the contest so that way we could do a proper presentation for everybody. So first one, we're going to go ahead and bring up. Got to pause it first. It's just a little bit of representation of the contest. Now, we've got some big ideas to help grow the contest later on. I'd really like to give more credit to the breeders. So we're thinking of doing some like nameplates and stuff like that in front of the tanks after they're properly judged. So that way the crowds of people know whose shrimp they are. Properly post that the shrimp aren't available, but probably the breeders out there will have, the shrimp available, especially if they're able to enter in the contest. They should be breeding those out quite prolifically, right? So I'm in the wrong thing already. You could stop me, Tim. The contest isn't in its full peak. We had some sad mishaps with a few of our main breeders, and they weren't able to enter their shrimp in. We had one late entry trying to sign up, and they weren't able to with a technical difficulty with the website. So we hope to get those errors fixed in the future. Where is it? Why isn't this working? I might need Shelby. Tim, you don't share screen? I hope she's watching, but she might be taking care of the baby.
Let me see.
Present, share screen.
Yep. Then,
Oh, window.
yeah.
All right. I figured it out before you, Tim.
And,
You didn't show me.
click mute
No.
on-
I think they're already muted. There's 3 of them open. That's the problem. All right.
Yeah,
So
you open the next one, I think. Maybe.
now just share it.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
And then make it big.
Boom.
Yes.
All right. So this is what the contest was looking like. There's some people during the show that were checking out the shrimp contest, but this is the banner and the logo for the American Shrimp Contest. And you can see we got plenty of room to grow out the contest. So we're definitely looking for more people to enter in the following contests. And we did get good news that there will be more Aquashellas moving forward. We should figure out those dates and locations here in the near future. So really looking forward to the next Aquashella, but we really got the setup down packed. Did we have any deaths in the contest at all?
Not that I know of.
I don't know if we had any deaths for this show. I'll have to ask and double check with Shelby, but in the Bloomfields, but I don't think we pulled out any dead shrimp out of the contest. I never heard of any of them. We didn't have any in Dallas, so that could be 2 shows this year where we didn't have any dead shrimp at all. So really looking forward, or it really puts a lot of perspective into how nice the quality of the shrimp are, and then how mainstream we have the contest. A big shout out to Aqua FX for making sure that our RO water gets thoroughly taken care of, the bins and everything like that, so we can mix up the salts and get the show ready, and the water properly taken care of before the shrimp go in it. So now we've got the entire contest for everybody.
You have to put your screen, so.
Yeah, I gotta open it up first. I got it now, Tim. We're good to go. All right, so this is category 1, tank 1. We've got some green Neocaridina. Oh, I need to full screen that. So really nice shrimp, really vibrant, deep dark greens on some of them. A little uniformity would have helped a little bit, but as you can see, there are 3 solid, really nice dark green shrimp there. One of them has a backline, however, and then 2 of them just aren't showing the best color. And then this is tank 2, still category 1. We've got some yellow 24 karat Neocaridina. These guys are really nice and vibrant, looking really uniform. I still don't know myself what categories have won or anything like that. So I'll be figuring out all of this with you guys here at the end of this video. But some really nice big yellow Neocaridina. These are quite consistent throughout the contest. So it's nice to see the greens, but a lot of people are a big fan favorite of the yellow Neocaridina. And then we've got tank 3. Did I skip over that? All right. No, this is tank 3. I think these are some black rose Neocaridina. We'll zoom in there. Are they blue?
I'm not sure. They might be. I think those might be the.
Oh, what did I just do? How did I just do that? I'm sorry, everybody. We got a technical difficulty here. There's a little bit of blue coloration to it. Now I got to pull it back up. This is why we have Shelby. Shelby makes these things flow so much better. She is taking care of the baby, though, so we will let that slide. All right. So I think these are some blue diamonds. They might be a little bit stressed out, a little splotchy in coloration. the first one was really nice, solid, deep in color. There's some hooker moss there for anybody wondering what kind of moss that might be. And then we had some shrimp that weren't able to make it. UPS somehow 2-day delivery turned into 6-day delivery. I really trust USPS priority mail. This is another empty tank for category 1. This person sent in 2 groups for this category. So sadly, they weren't able to make it. But if you're going to do 2 to 3 day shipping, I highly recommend USPS. But if you're going to do overnight, I definitely like using UPS for that, but not so much 2-day air. So this is category 2. This is our crystal category. We've got some red crystals here. You can't exactly tell if these are pure red line or red crystals. You would have to ask the breeder. Those are down to the genetics, but either way, they are a red crystal shrimp. I need some side commentary here, Tim. What do you have to say about these?
Taking a single breath to give me a chance.
I take a whole gulp of water.
The shrimp contest was really nice this year. A lot of shrimp that were really beautiful. Those crystals were one of my favorite. The white on them in particular was really, really nice and bright.
So I definitely watched this video beforehand and realized I think we just got to get rid of these stickers altogether. It helps out with our volunteers when people are curious what kind of tanks these are. So we've been leaving the stickers on, but for viewability of the shrimp, I think we're going to go ahead and remove the stickers definitely with this video. But we've got some white bees. I don't necessarily know if I would call them crystal shrimp because of the one with the blue on the face might be like a really, really low grade blue bolt, but it's kind of hard to tell. That white one right there is super nice. So if they had 3 solid white ones, those could do really nice. And then we got category 3. These are the Taiwan bees. We've got some shadow pandas right here.
Yeah, I really like the blue that is on the shadow panda, the blue shading in the shell. That's one of my favorite parts of those. Your backlines have it quite a bit too.
Yeah, but the backlines would not be allowed in this category since they are not a pure Taiwan bee. These ones, though, are looking really good. No backlines. The one in front that we're getting a good zoom in on right now, that is a very nice panda, shadow panda. There is one of them that is not a full band in the center, but it does look like they do have 3 of them that are fully banded all the way around. So I haven't seen the rest of the shrimp in this contest, but I know I've seen these guys. I can't remember the other ones, so I think these ones did pretty well in this category, I mean.
Yeah.
And I did not judge these, just the Bloomfields. All right, well, that's why I didn't remember any of the shrimp. Those were the only shrimp for that category. So that makes sense. And then this is category 4. These are the orange-eyed tigers, black tigers, or they're not really blue enough for me to call these royal blue tigers. The breeder might call them that, but they're nice, darker, blacker hue to them. So either way, they're a nice orange-eyed tiger. The category 4, though, is for the tiger category, though. They don't have to be orange-eyed. They do have to be a pure tiger and not a wild type. So no just basic common serratas are allowed in this category. But maybe we'll change that in the future because you can have some really nice line-bred tangerine tigers. You haven't seen that tank behind you yet. They're laser neon orange. So
When I saw the difference between the 2 different Aura blues that you had in the other room, that was pretty
you haven't seen those ones yet, though. There's an even higher grade. So still category 4, we've got some orange-eyed blue body red tigers. One of them's lacking some color in the body. Again, the judges judged the best 3. I would leave out the one in the right, even though it is a little nicer dark blue. is not as uniformed as the other 3 shrimp. So the breeder itself would actually get more points for those 3 shrimp that are actually huddling up together. They are the team. They are going to bring home the trophy together, right? They're planning it out.
Now, if you could get either that really dark blue one or the really big one to be more uniform and get more of one or the other, those would score a little bit higher just because you got the points on the size or the points on the color difficulty.
Yeah. These also were very interesting. They are an orange-eyed tiger. They're more likely like a super tiger crossed with a black tiger to get the orange-eyed pattern to make them kind of like a orange-eyed super tiger.
These ones were massive too. They were like huge.
Yeah, they were
I hadn't
ginormous.
seen a freshwater shrimp quite that big before.
Yeah, and size matters, even though they're not maybe as uniform as the tigers in the past tank. They are massive, and we'll definitely have to see later on in the video how they hold up to the other ones. But in past contests, the orange-eyed black tigers do tend to be dominant. If you can get some massive ones in color, they are pretty uniform, and it's harder to get more uniform than that. Now we're getting a great picture of your finger. All right, glad that didn't stick throughout the whole video, Tim. I pre-watched it beforehand.
Well,
but,
I was expecting you to do some like clipping of it or whatever. I didn't know it was just going to be a single video running on.
And that other one was another one of the tigers that did not make it into the contest. This is category 5. This is our Tybee contest. This is generally dominated by the fancy tigers. We've got some red fancy tigers here.
So I haven't kept the red fancy tigers yet. What are they a mix of?
So they should just be a mix of Caridina cantinosis, the crystal shrimp, with the Caridina Marie tigers, and maybe the super tigers as well. And there shouldn't be anything else crossed into them, but a lot of the lines that are out there are crossed with Taiwan bees. So.
Oh, okay, so the crystals is why they're so pearly white in the striping?
Yeah, well, actually, that's more likely because of the Taiwan bee cross back into them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You could do it, though, through selective breeding. It just takes a lot longer.
Shrimp's trying to make an entrance.
And then we've got some black fancy tigers. Tank number 14. These guys were hanging out at the top of the tank.
These shrimp were another shrimp that the size was just a little bit bigger than all of the rest. These shrimp here.
You got to stop petting them. If you pet them, he'll be here forever.
Sorry. But whoever sent these in, they were definitely feeding them the right things because the size of these were probably the second largest out of the whole show.
Yeah, these were really nice. The white quality of the reds and these ones are pretty on point. So the judges should have probably taken the stick around, shooken them off the plant. This video was taken later on in the day before we tore down the contest when there wasn't that many people around. In the very beginning of the day, right after the judges are done, there's a massive crowd around the shrimp contest. So now we've got category. Was this still category 6? Or is it category 6 or is it category 5? Hold on, we're gonna back this up real quick.
Yeah, I lost track. I'm sorry.
All right, never mind. We're not gonna back this up. We'll figure this out in the very next clip.
We can catch up to it. So what is this shrimp?
So these are some steels. They're not exactly red, but they are basically a red steel.
Is that what I've seen some people label as like a peach steel?
Yeah, peach. I've got these that are very similar to like the confetti steels that I talk about too. But They're pretty much just a red steel.
Oh, okay. Nice shrimp.
And we'll find the category out here in just a second as you back away. Oh, no, never mind. And then Tim to get, so this is category 6 now. That's tank 16. That was 15 beforehand. So these are the tie bees. No, these are the last one was tie bee. So that was part of the category 5. This is category 6. These are the eye morphs. So these are some orange eye blue devils.
These ones here were hiding in the Siswasser tank that was all the way in the back of the tank. I didn't know where the little tools were that they used to maneuver the shrimp to the front when I was doing the video. So I just kind of moved the camera to the back for you guys.
I got some really nice eyes, though.
Yeah, they're definitely poking right through all of the plant.
It looks like a dual sunset right now over the Sawasser tank.
Mm.
Oh, I guess one would be a sunrise, the other one would be a sunset, huh? But yeah, these guys are really nice, especially around this time of the year. A lot of people enjoy these kind of shrimp. And then we've got category 7 now. These are the tie bees. So that was the only shrimp in the eye morph category. So we've got some boas now.
This year is definitely on my bucket list. The orange base or the red base boa, either or, I would take in a heartbeat if anybody ever has my address and wants to send them. Great.
It's really hard to get video and good quality of the shrimp in these contests. There's so many lights coming from so many different angles. There's just so many reflections off the glass. So Tim had to take the chair around so he can get good stable footage and then be able to focus in on them like that. So props for being able to get it done. There's been a lot of people who have tried to film the contest and it just doesn't work out to get this nice of quality footage.
Thanks. One of the biggest struggles that I have with it is the tanks being on the table. You've got to fight the lip of the table, and then the phone camera's like an inch and a half up. So you're trying to film something that's like pretty much straight down from your camera, you know.
Yeah. But it's just a shame these guys weren't all the same color, and they very easily could have been in the tanks before they sent them in, but it's the high risk, high reward when you put that many different shades of color onto a shrimp. Sometimes they stress out and they don't always show the true colors. So we've got some more tie bees here. Some nice blue splotching there.
Almost looks like someone dropped some oil in a puddle out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It's like really, really beautiful.
It's just hard to get all the splotches to line up on these guys. So you got to get the splotches to line up and the coloration too.
Right, because you've got to look for uniformity, so the shape of all the spots have to be the same, right?
Yeah.
So how do the legs affect the score? Because these ones here have quite a few stripes on them, I've seen.
Off the top of my head, and there's some very nice spider legs there. Leg coloration and pattern is, I think, 10 points out of 100 for this category.
So it's a pretty big deal being 10% of the score.
Yeah, it definitely helps out.
Are there any shrimp that just don't ever produce the stripes, no matter what you try to do with the selective breeding?
So like yellow King Kongs and shrimp like that don't really produce the black and white or the two-tone colorations, won't really produce the spider legs, but any of the shrimp that can produce two pigments theoretically could get spider legs to them. They don't have to be spider leg though. They could just be really nice solid red coloration or black or blue all over the entire leg.
Oh, okay.
And we got some more boas here. kind of like the back line on the back line. I tried to breed it out on one of the shrimp, but I was losing all the spots and everything else that I was trying to work on too at the same time. So it's hard to focus on too many traits all at once.
Mm-hmm. That was a really cool shot that I got of the top of the water. The shrimp eating the little bit of particles that are coming to the top of the freshly filled tank.
You see all the little, it's not really a bamboo shrimp, but you can see like how they're still kind of feeding the same way. Just they're grabbing little tiny particulates and microorganisms, not so much little tiny nutrients in the water column itself.
So you can really see the face spots on this boa here. Is this like pretty much exactly what you'd be looking for when you're breeding the boas?
Everybody has their own preference in boa. I don't actually consider that to be my ideal boa pattern. So it's all right, but I would prefer more breaks and bigger splotches, but deformed splotches around the face to get those real nice true boa markings. This one's almost got too much cheeks. Like you see those guys who work out to get the chins and then all of a sudden they got too much chin. Yeah, this guy got too much chin. But yeah, you really like getting the top-down view of these guys.
Well, I thought that we were gonna like edit the video or whatever before we posted it up, and there was just no time.
Yeah, no. If you're at one of these shows and you see how quickly the shows go up and how quickly the shows get taken down, like there was another convention moving in right behind us. So we got Category 7, Tank 20. We got some more boas. Actually, these aren't boas. These are Galaxy Tigers. Nanashi, Nanansi, whatever you want to call them. Same shrimp, different name.
I've got the red Nanasi at the house, and I really love them. The pattern on them is pretty cool. The raccoon face mask, and then 3 stripes in the back there.
Yeah, these guys though are really gnarly
Yeah,
on the striping and pattern.
These are definitely a lot more higher grade than what I've got.
But they don't exactly match up the best. So we'll see how they do in the end. And now it's hard to compare this one to the other 3, but yeah, it's still got some really nice pattern and coloration to it as well. I like the pattern. I take the pattern, but adding the blue onto it as well, that's really nice. Some beautiful table footage.
It is a nice tablecloth that they provide for you.
Tank 21. We've got some more Galaxy Pintos. Not quite boa. Really nice thick Galaxy stripe on it, but not so much a boa. Really nice snowflake pattern on the bellies, though.
For a boa, you would need much larger on the face spots, right?
Yeah, so when you think of Pinto is in horses. Horses have the Pinto horses have all the spots. When you think of boa, you want to think of boa constrictor like a snake. They've got that real thick, splotchy patterns on it. So you kind of want to mimic that. And really just on the cheeks. You want the big cheeks.
Now, like the Galaxies, I've seen like red base, orange base, blue base. Is there any one color in particular that's always going to grade higher?
The more color, the better. Like just the more intense the color is, it doesn't really matter so much on which color, because every judge is going to have a difference. Rob might like the really deep, solid blue, where Cherie might really like the orange and pink. You know what I mean? It all depends. Me as a judge, I'm not going to base it off of my favorite color. I'm going to because like they got the green base boas too. I might, oh wow. But if it's not like nice green and they're still like, oh yeah, it's a green. Yeah, it's green, but like it's not as green as I want it to be. You know what I mean? So I'm going to judge it based on how vibrant that individual color is, not off of it's my favorite color or not. But also, if you can have like 3 or 4 colors, though, that would be even better.
Tom's got quite a lot of spots on the body.
Yeah, this one's really nice. Again, it's just hard to get them all to match up, but those two kind of really match up really nice. Nice blue coloration on the body, too. We got Tank 22, Category 7. What are these?
Are these the purple ones? The purple Nanasi?
I'm going to say they are, more than likely. It's just really hard to get this color. You're me or Tim?
Yeah.
10. So I'm trying to turn the table so I can be close to it. Turn it this way.
Yeah, but then you're going to have to put something on the table because then the table's going to go, and then it's going to go straight into the camera. Now you're right in the camera.
So you talk louder.
Yeah, that's all we needed. All right, technical difficulties here. We'll get you in there. I'm pretty sure these are the purples, though.
They are. They're definitely the purples.
Just a lot of swats are Tang. You can see the lids aren't on there, so the judges can go through there, move all of the moss around to the side, and get a good look at all the shrimp. We give them little pokers, so that way they can even get the shrimp to line up and take a side shot.
Yeah, videoing these shrimp is definitely difficult trying to capture that purple color. I tried to do my best, but without having extra lighting and stuff, it is pretty difficult. And what are these?
So now these technically were entered into the wrong category, if you ask me. However, technically not. Because technically a Tai bee is a Tai bee crossed with a Taiwan bee. So these very much could be that cross that don't produce the double pigment. But it really is kind of just like 5 random shrimp. The one on the right could be like a Tai bee, the one in the back now, but not a very thick pigment base to it. So when you enter shrimp in the contest, you want to make sure that all the shrimp look identical, that they all match up, that they're all the same color. You don't want a different colored shrimp, like a red and a black and a blue in it for sure. You didn't get pictures of a video of the awards? All right. I think we have the awards, though, so we can show those off, the ones that Harley made.
Yeah, we've got
and
one
then-
of them. I know I saw one on the table over there. I don't know where the others are.
Okay. And then we also got
Want me to grab it?
the first, second, and third for all of the categories. I saw Shelby, and
She's over here.
she was moving like she was already working on it, so I didn't want to say anything.
Shelby's the best. That's why.
So I have him. The problem is, can't find exactly which shrimp that won, the names of him, but
Do you have the tank numbers? I just need the tank numbers.
no, that's what's missing. That's what I'm trying to find. I folded it up to save it. I can't find it.
Do you have the Harley Awards?
Where are the awards?
The award?
No, those ones are wrong.
Oh, that's right.
There's
Oh.
one on the table out there, I think.
No, it's up on. See, this is why I kept it. It's all the way up on top of the cabinets in the kitchen. And we definitely need to know the tank numbers before I read all of these out. So just stand by with us for 1 second. Again, technical difficulty. All right. Now, this is a little embarrassing. I didn't want everybody to know this. Everyone's going to know this, but Harley made some very, very beautiful trophies. So these are by far the coolest trophy out there. And the first person who can comment the error on the trophy will get a $25 gift card. You don't have to pull that up. Somebody else will pull it up if you want to.
I was just scrolling down.
Okay, go ahead. Tim will find it. But whoever finds the error of the trophy will get it. And luckily enough, I noticed as soon as Harley sent me the picture, oh, it's backwards? No, it's not.
Someone was holding it backwards.
Now it's right? Jesus. I can't believe I did that. I was reading it in the picture thing back there. All right. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, I saw the error as soon as the picture was sent to ask me how cool they look. And I go, Harley, they look freaking fantastic. However, I made a mistake and you got to fix it. And Harley was able to come through. Who got it?
Chewy?
No. Laura put breeder.
Oh.
Jen said it's backwards. So, like, that was an error of me, not of the actual sign. So, congratulations, Laura. I'll give you that $25 gift card. Laura is on a roll. She's won quite a few things. So, yes, it's supposed to say breeder of the year, and it only says breed of the year. So I don't know if I just got auto-corrected or what, but this was the only one that got messed up. Harley made a new one, so whoever won breeder of the year is going to get the actual correct one. But yeah, these are probably the coolest trophies that we've had for the contest yet. They are custom made by Harley from PNW, and he's the same one that makes our little micro tanks and our breeder boxes. And the quality of these things is top notch. And so I was like, I'm going to take this and just put it on top of my cabinet. So all of this is hidden and it's just an acrylic shrimp sticking out. And I can even put an LED light on it and it'll shine the whole thing and make it a different color if you put a different color LED on it. So
really cool.
Next year, you're really going to want to enter and participate in the shrimp contest because not only are you going to win a cool trophy like this, but we are going to upgrade them a little bit better and make little tiny engravings of different kinds of shrimp on the bottom of the trophy and stuff like that. So they're only going to get better and better from here on out.
So next year, are you going to spell it breeder?
Well, I mean, we got breeder for this year. I will remember next year to double check and double check before I send it over. But it all looked good to me. It all looked good to Harley. So,
well, there's your problem. You didn't ask Shelby first.
Yeah, I didn't ask Shelby.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw it and I was like, what?
But don't worry, we got it all sorted. So
there's the tank numbers for you when you're reading the awards out. I did put it in the same spot as the card.
all
Do
right.
you want me to write it on the awards and you just talk for a minute?
Yeah, just
Okay.
write on the words. I'll talk for a minute. Or yeah, when you finish a category, you can hand me a category.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll do the awards first, second, and first in just a
First,
second.
second, and first.
First, second, and first only. We're not going to do third place. Who does third place in awards? That's not something you're supposed to do, right? Another thing that I want to bring up is, can you go get the other trophy on the table?
Yeah.
Oh, Shelby's going to get it. So I do have something I want to talk about and bring up. Harley made this trophy, but he also made this trophy. All right, I got it right this time, right? Right. And when Harley sent me that these were done before these were done, I was like, oh, man, these are really cool, too. And it's got corals and stuff engraved. That's why I was like, Harley, we got to get little, like, plants, shrimp plants and stuff like that engraved on the bottom to make it even a little bit nicer touch on it. So I saw how cool these were, and I was like, oh, man, I really hope we win one of those. And Harley's like, oh, for best freshwater booth? And I was like, no, there's no way I'm going to win that. Like, the bigger booths win that one, and properly so. Custom Cages won that award for this show. I was like, no, one of the freshwater aquascape ones, and the actual freshwater aquascaping didn't do awards with Harley. So the one award I won with that wasn't a Harley award, but we won this award as a family because the kids went and scaped the creators contest since me and Shelby didn't have enough time, and they took home the win. I was really proud of them. They originally thought that Shelby had done it because they didn't make a little plaque for the kids to get voted on, so they used Shelby's plaque because she did the most of the work for them anyways. And so they called up Shelby to win the award, and we were like, no, it was the kids. The kids did it. And they went up, and Adam, who's the manager of Aquashella, runs the whole thing. He was like, that was the coolest surprise of the entire night because nobody knew except for a few people that the kids even scaped that tank. And the people that put together the awards weren't aware of the kids doing that. So super happy to have one of Harley's awards for myself. Jealous, though, that I don't have one of these awards. I have a lame plaque for my best of show. But that's all right. All right. We got some awards now. The moment everybody wanted to hear about. We have drum roll. And that's the only drum roll I'm going to do. All right. For category 1, Neo Carradina. Third place, we have Jamie Castle. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I did all that work for tank number, and you're not even going to say the tank number?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Woo! It's been a long weekend. All right. This was for... No, just hand them to Tim, and then I'll have another stack.
Okay.
This was for her Blue Diamonds and tank number 3. So congratulations. Man, we plugged it into the same thing. Just turn it back on, and it'll be good for another 45 minutes. And then we'll know that it's time to probably wrap things up. So second place for their yellow 24 karat Neo Carradina tank number 2. I lied about the light. It's time to wrap this up, I guess. We've got Anthony Armada, Daku Aquatics. Thank you so much. Congratulations for participating. The yellow 24 carats. Don't give up on the contest. He had some shipping issues and was like, I ain't going to let that stop me this time, and brought his shrimp in, and he took home the win with tank number 1 and his green jades or green emeralds. We've got Anthony Armada. So congratulations, man. And by the way, he sent the shrimp in. They made it to the contest late, were shipped back to him all alive. Same with Shrimp Pimpin' Ruben as well. That was the only two people that had that issue, and no DOA. So then we have category 2, which is the crystal category. We have first place Jacob Waters, tank number 6.
It's either the pure red lines or the red crystals, but I needed to ask him before I wrote it on there.
So then what happened?
What do you mean? That's the only one.
That was the only entry for that category?
Goodness, you should be able to figure that out.
I thought there was other crystals in that category.
No.
Okay.
I thought there was white ones too.
Yeah.
No, those are the next category. Those were Mike's.
Okay.
Oh.
So then we have... Oh, that's why I said I think they were blue bolts.
Yeah.
They were blue on the face. I got you now.
So you were right.
I was right. I can't always tell. I don't know whose shrimp they are and where they came from. I just can see the little tiny signs.
Well, that just goes to show you you kind of know what you're talking about. If you knew that it wasn't supposed to be a crystal because of that color.
And the one thing that got me was Tim's like, how do you? Well, there's nothing written on any of the tanks. How do you know what's in every tank? And as I'm feeding them, I'm just like telling them the backstory to every tank as I'm going along, rapid firing them. So we have category 4, Taiwan. category 3 Taiwan Bees. I'm so sorry. Second place, Kyle Wilkins, tank number 8. And then we have first place, tank number 7, Michael Esposito. Congratulations. Mike is usually one of our top volunteers at the contest. Mike sadly fell on a fishing trip and broke his leg and was not able to make it down to the contest, but still sent his shrimp down and took first place. So congratulations, Mike. I'm proud of you. That is it for the Taiwan Bees. Moving on to category 4. This is the Tiger category. We've got third place, tank number 10. We have Jacob Waters. Second place, tank number 9. Also Jacob Waters. And then first place, coming in like a king, we've got Michael Esposito again.
He really put in some work for this show. He's got a couple.
I can't believe that. Congratulations, Mike. I'm having a real proud moment here. Then we've got category 5, Thai Bees. All right, you've got the rest of them. I'm like, this isn't enough awards. We got second place, tank number 14, Himanshu. Congratulations. And then we've got first place, tank number 13, Kyle Wilkins. So that is category 5 for the Thai Bee category. Category 13, off the top of my head, were the Fancy Tigers, and then tank 14 was the Fancy Black Tigers. So the Reds took the win for that. And then we've got the Caradina Crossbreeds iMorphs. Tank number 15, second place, Mike Esposito, taking home 3 awards for this contest. Sorry about that, Mike. I'm pretty sure the mic picked that up. There was no hiding that one.
I think he's got 2 others in there that didn't drop, though, so you're safe.
All right. So then we have category 5, category 6, crossbreeds. First place, Chu Lee, tank number 16. And then we've got category 7, Tai Bee, tank number 18, Kyle Wilkins for third place. And then we've got tank number 17 for Caradina Tai Bee, second place, Jacob Waters. And then first place, tank number 20, Himanshu, first place. Congratulations. And then we have the best of show goes to tank number 20, Himanshu, as well. Congratulations, man. You won the $200 cash prize. You also won one of these cool first place best of show awards. And the People's Choice Award will be announced with the Breeders of the Year on Flip Aquatics live stream. I'm not sure if he's going to do it this Sunday or the following Sunday. I'll be getting with him later this week. We both had a really busy weekend, a really busy show. So please be patient with us. Apologize for, again, the late announcements, but with the Wi-Fi and the noise and everything else going on at Aquashella, it really is best for us to be able to do with what we did tonight. I got some feedback. I asked some other people, and they thought this was a little bit better of an idea. I wanted to post all of the first, second, and third and everything like that on Sunday. Ideally, we would have liked to do that. However, we just didn't have time to tally everything up and get all the scores situated because of the late entry and the late judging. So apologize for that. hopefully there isn't any mishaps with shipping coming next year with any of the shows. There should be new venues, and that's never happened at any of the other venues. Usually USPS gets directly shipped right to the hotel, not a PO box. So congratulations to all the winners. Big congratulations to Himanshu. You are the biggest winner, man. Thank you for entering your shrimp, everybody, for participating, all the volunteers, the judges, Tim for filming the contest. Thank you again. And a big thank you, of course, to Shelby. She really organized the whole contest, made sure everything got set up, all the shrimp that all of them were properly taken care of, and that there wasn't any issues. And if there wasn't any issues, that they were taken care of. So Shelby, like I said, the late entry for the shrimp contest, I probably spent an hour of my aquascaping competition time getting the people to track down the box and the postmaster and the key for the locker and everything like that. And then Shelby spent an hour of her time going to get the shrimp acclimated, rounding up all the judges to let them know that the shrimp are in the contest and everything like that. So big thank you to Shelby for making sure that this contest went flawless and there wasn't any issues. So for those that were unable to join, hopefully next year you've got better luck and better circumstances, and hopefully everyone gets some really good breeding. Don't believe in the myth. Even though winter is coming, your shrimp can still breed throughout the winter. Keep feeding those shrimp and do larger, more frequent water changes through the winter, and you can have babies all year round. So I guess now we just recap Aquashella, starting with Thursday was setup of the actual shrimp contest, but it was also Halloween. So Shelby, myself, and the baby drove all the way to Daytona. We set up the shrimp contest, then drove all the way home, got the kids, and went trick-or-treating, and then drove all the way back to Aquashella. Daytona is a good 3-hour drive for us. With bad traffic, it was like 3 hours and 20 minutes. With good traffic, we can get there in like 2 hours and 45 minutes. But we didn't end up getting home to the hotel until 2 a.m. in the morning. So it was a really rough start to our day, waking up early Friday to go to, did we do IHOP Friday? No, we didn't do IHOP Friday. That was Saturday. But to get to the show and escape a bunch of tanks before the show, or to get to the show so we can get everything done and ready before our competition tank and everything like that. So Friday, Aquashella, we set up our booth. We also escaped tanks for Carib Sea, Fluval, Zoomed, and Planet Aquariums. And then during the show, Shelby set up a tank for Pisces. And we also escaped 2 tanks for the Fluval Aquascape contest. We were super busy, and that's when the kids set up one of the tanks for the Creators Contest, and they also did 5 tanks for Tide Line. So really happy I brought the kids along. They were a lot of help. One of the biggest things that I noticed at this show that it's been at other shows and I really didn't have the time for it, I guess, at past shows, was the fish game. And I don't have like a little key and everything like that. Maybe Shelby's not too busy and she can go pull that out at some point during the stream and I can show this off a little bit better. But there was an app that the kids were playing where they got to set up their own aquarium and then redesign it, add their own fish, and then you had to maintenance the aquarium. And I don't know exactly how the game went. I was too busy with the show and everything else going involved. But the guy was like super, super happy with my kids because my kids weren't just like hogging the computers playing the game. They were like getting the kids that were waiting in line for face paint to come in and play the game and try it out. And the guy was like, hey, I haven't ever sold as many keys to the app as I did at this show. And it was all because your kids were getting kids in and showing kids how to do it and what cool things were a part of the app. And my kids were thoroughly enjoying the actual game throughout the show. and there was like bull riding and all this other stuff for the kids to do throughout Aquashella. And I think the highlight of the show for them was that kid game. So if your kids maybe aren't that interested in the hobby, but they are interested in video games or glued to their tablet or something like that all the time, maybe this is something that a way you can get them interested in it, and maybe they find something on the game, and then it gets them interested in wanting. I read that. And gets them into the hobby and gets them their own tank in their bedroom or something like that. So Matt with the zinger. Whoa, Shelby looking rough. That's what happens after Aquashella, man. Sorry, Tim. I had to pull that up.
You had to?
you.
No, she didn't.
Oh,
So this is the fish game, and then basically I can't show the back half, or maybe I can. I don't know. Maybe I need to hide this, but there's a whole extra part of the game, what it is and how they set it up and everything like that. I'm covering up a key that gives somebody a free entrance into the game, and we'll be giving that away next month during our holiday giveaway. So I also have a key. I'll be playing it and checking out the ins and outs and how to recommend it. Maybe I'll do like a little video or something like that to get your kids interested and see if you want it before you buy it. But it's definitely something the kids enjoyed, and because they actually enjoyed it and it's something we use, I like to recommend things like that. So I get nothing out of promoting them or anything like that. I just know the kids really enjoyed that aspect of it, and I thought I'd shout that out. And then also there's just a lot of really nice aquascapes at the contest. I took home most creative. Shelby sadly didn't take home anything, but her tank was absolutely amazing, considering that she spent the entire day on Friday with one plan and one scape in mind and set up an entire scape, and then got there on Saturday and tore down everything she had done on Friday, started all over, and while helping out with the booth, running the not just my booth, but helping out at the Pisces booth now also, and running the Aquascape giveaway thing where she set up a tank and gave that away, and taking care of the baby and looking out after the other two kids, and everything like that at the show. The quality of the aquascape that she was able, it looked like something that she really spent a ton of time together, and in reality it was pieced together faster than anybody else's scape was done in the entire contest. And there was an ample amount of people that were going around telling me how nice my aquascape was and how it was their favorite until they saw Shelby's, and that how it gave her that she was giving me a run for my money. And I think you can pull up like the old school hardscape, oh man, not hardscape, halfscape episodes, and you can see the streams where I talk about like the most important award and everything like that is most creative. And even though we didn't place or anything like that, I still took home most creative. But I do think Shelby definitely should have placed. Not all escapes that were in the top were boring, but some escapes were just boring and not really like something you want to take a hike in. It's just something like, yeah, that's a dead part of the forest. So it doesn't really appeal to me. It's not really impactful to me. And Shelby's was still very natural, very realistic, and super impactful. So I couldn't believe how incredible the tank was that she put together. The tanks that she did at Fluval, I never even got a picture of them. They were gone, tore down, and sold and taken off into the sunset before we could ever even get any photos. I also, my scape was just one tragedy after another. I'm not making any excuses, people. Like I said, you can go back in the books. I won the award I wanted to win. All right. I took home the win in my eyes. But I definitely messed up and got way too comfortable with the hammer. And I was going along, just fine day one. Got fine through like a third of the second day. And I whacked the top of my finger pretty hard with the hammer and busted it open. There's a lot of blood. Shelby saved me with a little Band-Aid. But it made scaping with my left hand very difficult. I figured that if my scape stayed on the glass overnight, all right, this is my theory. If it stayed on the glass overnight, that 1,000% it would stay when I filled it up with water. Because if you lift up a rock underwater, it's light.
Right.
So there would be a lot less pressure on the back of the glass filled up with water.
Yeah,
Well,
that makes sense.
I was wrong, because while Tim was trying to get into the expo, was about around the time I filled my tank halfway up with water and my mountains started falling off the back of the glass. So what I wanted to execute in that scape, I actually did not get to do. I had one floating mountain when I think the judges when the judges actually went around and judged. The other one I given up. By the time actually you came around and you needed your badge and you were calling me, I had pretty much given up, and I was just like, I just want the island in the right position. I don't want the island to look like it fell and was tilted like this. You know what I mean? I wanted, yeah. So I was able to get that nice and steady, and one floating mountain in the distance. Like everybody kept going, like, when are you gonna do an avatar scape? When are you gonna do an avatar scape? And that was like basically it. I might do another one in the future. I definitely got some ideas in the hotel room, and Shelby was not happy with it. But Tim, you like it. I'm gonna do it.
I did. Like
I'm gonna do it, Shelby. Dallas, here we come. I got something for you. But oh man, where was I?
You're talking about the,
I'm totally gone. I know I was talking about the Aquascaping. Oh, series of events, horrible series of events. All right, so shattered my thumb, the tip of my thumb, and then on top of that, I'm trying to save the scape with thermoplastics. So I've got the thermoplastics cooking in the back. I got the super glue. I'm working everything with the activator, and I'm trying to like wedge in extra rocks to glue those to the glass to like get some more stability in here and just more surface area touching the glass, the better, in my opinion. And so I was doing all this stuff in my mind, and I was in a hurry, and I went to go walk around to the front of the tank, and I kicked the pan of boiling hot water, and it spilt all over my foot. I got blisters all over my the side and bottom of my foot. I got a mashed up finger, and yeah, it made the Aquascape contest very difficult. My island falls. I rebuild the island, and somebody steps on it while they're taking a video of my tank, and I saw the person do it, and then they just kind of like walked away. They put their head down and just beelined it, and I was just like, there's nothing I could do about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just kind of like shrugged it off, and I was like, I'm just gonna do something different, you know. So I was able to piece together another island. I wanted the glass or the water clarity to like kind of clear up a little bit, so I can make some of the spikes like fall in different directions from one another. And I was also hoping that the water itself, while it filled up, the sand would shift, and some of them would do some natural, collapsing and stuff like that. I didn't get my water clear in time, and I just ran out of time. So I think in the future, as much as I love me and Shelby doing separate scapes, I think we need to just take turns alternating who does the main view or direction of the tank, and then the other person just like, yes dear, and gets it done and just knocks it out. Because I feel like any part of the scapes that either one of us did, we could have just helped each other out and gotten one scape solidly done a little bit better.
I think they came out really, really nice.
Yeah, no. If Shelby's tank was like a half an inch smaller on each side, I don't think like the rocks were just like a half an inch bigger. I think the depth would have been absolutely insane on her tank. But you got to deal with what you got,
Right?
and that was incredible with what she had.
Yeah. What was that rock that she had in there?
So it's not exactly an elephant skin stone, but it's a sandstone, and pretty much elephant skin stone is just a general term for a stone. So you could use elephant skin, but it's not the original elephant skin stone that's been brought into the hobby and whatnot. So very similar. It's just not quite as texturized.
Oh, okay. I did really like that look at
There was also some other nice rocks. There just wasn't really enough rocks for me, for my style. I don't like looking at like just a stack of 2 rocks with some wood over the top. What else happened at the show? I almost got some albino sturgeon. I was real close, and then I realized we're going to the beach today. Today was the beach. We went to the beach first. We got all the boxes of all the shrimp shipped out, so they make it back home nice, safe, and sound. And Tim, of course, joining me for a couple of days since he's in Florida. Actually made his flight. I missed that part of it altogether. Tim's flight got canceled
my
on
flight
Friday,
was miserable.
and then had to fly in on Saturday. And I'm not saying I wouldn't have burned my foot with thermoplastics if you had been there a little bit earlier, but you could have saved me.
At minimum, you might not have busted your thumb open.
No, I probably still would have done that. I got way too comfortable with a hammer. I'm gonna be completely honest. That was just my fault. After like a day and a half of just not even getting close to nipping your hand, I was just like, I got the precision down.
Well, when Shelby looked at the clock and said it's hammer time, that's not what she meant, Grant.
Yeah. I had matching T-shirts, and me and Jaden were both wearing black pants and our TGOE hat, and then we also had the same shoes on because we had the exact same Nike shoes. So we're pretty much matching down to a T. And I had a bigger hammer. He had the little hammer. He was going to help me smash up all my rocks. He did help me out in a big way, though. Instead of him helping me smash rocks, he went and scaped 5 tanks with his sister. So, and I thought I was going to have to go over there and critique a lot of things and fix a lot of things up. No, the tanks look great. And I walked over to the guy's booth who runs the booth. It's up to him. And I was like, hey, I'm actually really happy with how the tanks came out from the kids. If you're happy with them, I'm happy with them. And he's like, no, they looked incredible. Somebody walked by and they're like, oh my God, do you see those kids putting together the tank? What is going on? How old are they? And John's like, yeah, those are Grant's kids. Like, just
Yeah,
like
they're very, very talented.
Yeah, I'm truly proud of them. Somebody came up to me and they asked help in the tips for their kid on the Aquascape contest. Their kid thought my tank was the nicest and they wanted some tips. And I walked through and I was like, look, big stuff in the front, little stuff in the back, slope it from the front to the back. So that way you can get some depth and make the tank look like it actually look like it's bigger than it actually is. And then they walked away, and I think I made the joke to you, and I was like, I should have just told them just make sure my kids don't enter the contest. Like that would have been the best advice. They asked me to on Saturday, and I told them no. Let some other kids go and enjoy that. You guys get to skate tanks with endless amount of resources all the time. One of the coolest things about doing the Aquascape contest is having all the materials at your fingertips. I know what it's like to be limited on resources and not have enough rock to fill up a tank and have to use like styrofoam and other things to make it work and stuff like that, right? So let these kids experience what it's like to get out there. My kids are now lucky enough they've got little mini rock mounds on the side of the house that they can go through and set up a tank anytime they want. Tim, you ask them how many tanks they scape a week. And I'm like, it's not like that.
They both looked at me and laughed. And I don't know how they're doing such beautiful work. We have not practiced it.
They do probably 3 tanks a year. I would say that's probably about right for Jaden. Layla might do a little bit more because she went to Sabu and Brandy's show, and did the tank for environmental natural aquariums. And Jaden didn't make it to that one. So, but they do the Florida State Fair, and they'll probably do two tanks this year for the fair. So they already have 2 tanks. Layla can actually do 3 tanks. So,
oh, they both got a natural talent for it. They're real good.
yeah. Nano, Jay, I need your help. You're not just an amazing aquascaper and Instagram poster and blogger. You're also an amazing photographer, which helps out with the other things. Yes. Yeah, I know you got some amazing footage of my tank. Any chance you got like a photo, or you could also let me borrow some of the footage that you got in my aquarium, because I don't know why I did not film my tank at all. I didn't take a photo of it. I was just busy. I was working from sun up to sundown pretty much. No, not really. I enjoyed my time with Tim Harley and the gang and everyone like that. So I really didn't. But like, we are at the venue from the time it starts to the time they kick us out. So at that point, I did not have time to like take photos of anything. The Bloomfields run the entire booth with Tim and Ashley. Ashley helped out and allowed me and Shelby to aquascape pretty much the entire day on Saturday. So when it came to Sunday, I was like, let me run the booth, please, so you guys can go enjoy the show. I'd say that's probably the most I was at a booth at an Aquashella in a long time.
I was proud.
Even in Chicago, where Shelby was mostly pregnant, I think she ran the booth. No, I mean, maybe I was probably there. No. I'd say she did most of Sunday and Saturday in Chicago. So it was nice being able to work, but I didn't have time to take care of any of my pictures. So if you can send me some pictures, or if anybody got photos or video of my tanks that they would allow me to use on our social platforms, I really appreciate that. I also didn't have Mike Esposito there. He's too busy, resting from breaking his ankle to make it. But yeah, I rely on other people to take my photos at the other shows, and I miss them. So yeah, Jimmy wasn't there either. I can't ask him for footage. There's also another kid that usually films Aquashella and goes around, and he makes sure he gets all of my tanks for me. And I don't know where he was, but yeah, I would be forever grateful in your debt if you could send me some of that. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Nano. And then here's the real kicker. Here's the story of it all. They asked us if we wanted to keep our tanks at the show, and all of the gang of my friends, especially the ones that are out eating ice cream with me, like to give me the award for the most heavy tank and having all the rock and everything in it. So Shelby also had a significant amount of rock in her tank. We ended up taking all the rock out of the tank so that way they wouldn't, get damaged in traveling and getting them home. But Ryan's like, yeah, you just need to let me know ASAP or as soon as possible on whether or not you want the tanks or not. And I was like, yeah, you just needed to let me know a week ago that we could take our tanks so I could drive a truck so I can bring home everything. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, so if you can be patient with me and I can find out and figure out logistics, I'll try and get the tanks home. And he's like, okay, well, like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, I've got somebody on the way here from the airport, and I don't know how big their rental car is. And I've also got like 3 or 4 other friends here with vehicles, but I don't know how much room is in their car. If they're willing to throw in 200-pound tanks into the back of their car or whatever, you know? So thankfully, I've got Tim, Mark, and Ryan. Tim had a rental car, and I stuffed it full. I'd say it's properly Tetrised into Tim's rental car of a massive RO unit and a bunch of dry goods, all the stuff that I got from scaping the ZoomEd booth. Layla got a lot of stuff for her chameleon, so we can get that going and set up. A tank from Harley, a bunch of substrate, samurai soil, of course, coming home. And that all managed to fit in Tim's rental car. And then the tanks, all the lights, filters, and everything from the tanks also went in Tim's rental car, plus the lights I got from Fluval for scaping their tanks. And then all the tanks and all the rock went into the bed of Ryan's truck. And Mark helped organize all that and make sure that happened. So without the 3 of you guys, I wouldn't have gotten everything home from the contest. And we definitely needed one of those tanks because we ended up finding out that one of them was cracked when I moved it onto the shelf in the garage to store it. And, you know, if one cracked, maybe another one cracked. So now we have a backup to our backup tank. So hopefully now I can get the rack finished by the front door, pieced together. I don't know if we need to upgrade our refrigerator or not before we do that, because if I set up the stand before we buy a new refrigerator, it's going to make my life very miserable. So maybe I wait till the new year and we can get a new refrigerator while it still fits in the front of our house. So, oh man, I got a bunch of people asking about the live stream. They should be able to know the lives are always on the YouTube. And the reason why we don't share it on Facebook is because you post anything related to YouTube on Facebook and immediately just kills the algorithm to your video and basically mutes it so nobody else sees it unless they look up your profile. So I don't talk about YouTube usually on Facebook at all. Grant said, hope you have a big trunk. You should be reading these. You got to be Shelby for me, man.
Oh, I gotta be reading all these to you.
No, I was trying to read some of them as they pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nano said the aquascaping seems really stressful. I was there with my family, just having fun, enjoying the show. I would say it's a lot more fun than it is stressful. It's stressful on Saturday when everybody's there. Friday, it's a lot of fun because you're just doing the hardscape. You're not worried about the final touches. You're not worried about waiting for water. You're not waiting for the tank to clear up and everything like that. So I would say I thoroughly enjoy Friday. And also, I don't have to like worry about Tim at my booth being swamped and having people asking questions that he's not aware of and stuff like that. So he says he's lying. It's stressful. I'm saying it's more rewarding than it is stressful. And it's super rewarding when you're finished and you have the overall look. But I would say I enjoy it more than it is stressful. So yeah, it's stressful when you smash your finger with a hammer for sure. It's stressful when you spill boiling water on your feet. But most of the time that doesn't happen. I mean, I'm pretty sure I hit my finger with the hammer every single time I'm making an aquascape like that, but I don't split all of the skin off the side of my finger when I'm doing it.
Yeah,
so,
that looked pretty painful.
But I'm trying to remember what else. The kids got to go hang out with all the animals at the custom aquarium booth. Um, Ended up getting a couple of earrings for Layla and Shelby. Um, Layla got one of Luke's Goldie's goldfish. You got a crypt from Lucas Brett's.
Yeah, I did. I can't pronounce the name. It starts with an M. It's got like 17 letters to it.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was either.
Right.
You did bring that home, right?
Yeah, it's
You
in
made
my,
it.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's in my luggage out.
It just kept floating around the booth, and I always worry about like during teardown with loose stuff like that and it going missing.
Yep.
So,
yeah, thank you for keeping it well protected.
yeah,
for me.
Shelby's always like, you're paranoid about stuff going missing at the show, and I was like, because we get stuff missing from every single show, like, and it's not even things like I think people stole it. I just think like I'm really good friends with this guy. So when he comes over to the booth to ask me for a tool or my aquascaping and goes, hey, can I borrow this? And he knows I'm going to say yes, but I'm not there. He probably just goes, oh, hey, I'll take this and bring this back. But this is where it gets crazy. Is what if that person also steps away for a second and then one of their friends goes to borrow a tool?
Right.
Now nobody knows where the original tool went.
Right.
I skate for JBJ every now and then, and they have one of my dad's hammers. Like, I know it's my dad's hammer from when I was a kid, and it's been in my garage forever. And I can't just go, hey, can I have my hammer back? Because I know they've probably been using it for 5 shows, 10 shows a year now for the past 4 years since I know the thing went missing. And I know I lent it to Chance when he skates for JBJ, and that's the original cause of it going missing. They just cleaned up, and it was a hammer in their booth. You know what I mean? So, but JBJ, they're great people. They take care of me.
If I found a hammer in my booth and everyone else was torn down out of there, why not?
Maybe for sentimental purposes, I'll buy a brand new hammer and just be like, hey, I'm trading you this hammer so I can get my hammer back. But also, we were able to enjoy the beach. We originally did not have access to a balcony, and then we were looking for access to balcony, and then Tim's like, after 15 minutes of us looking for a balcony, Tim's like, oh yeah, I have a balcony. So we went up to Tim's balcony to hang out and enjoy the ocean and everything like that. The hurricane kind of pretty much destroyed the beach. All the erosion of all the sand is gone, so you really couldn't like walk down to the beach. As soon as you passed the seawall, you were just in the water.
Yeah, there's like a lot of construction sites and stuff down in Daytona.
There was, I was a little worried about the show not being that good. The election going on. Overall, the economy's been a little bit rough this year. Shows have not been at their all-time prime. And then on top of that, we've got the hurricane damage. And it was significant throughout the shore of all the hotels. And some of the hotels themselves were badly damaged. A lot of the shops and stuff like that were closed. It was more of a ghost town than last year even. So we did, though, go out to the beach earlier today, right before it rained on us, and we quickly packed up and left. But did some solid boogie boarding with the kids before we had to head out. But yeah, it was a really nice show. I'm not going to say I'm going to miss Daytona if we're going to go back to Orlando, though. It's closer to home, so.
Yep.
And there was a monkey. Yeah, there was a monkey going around.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. What kind of monkey was it? Do you know?
And a fingerling monkey? No, it was like a yellow pod or something like that. It was like a yellow pod. I can't remember. It was something like that. A golden palm or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
And then we also, all of us went out to eat ice cream at 2 different places. We all met up and went to Cold Stone after the award ceremony on Saturday night. And then Friday night, actually, Harley and everybody, they went to Dunkin' Donuts and they asked me if I wanted to go and meet up. And I was like, I got to wake up really early in the morning. By the time I get down to my car and drive all the way there and meet up with you guys, it's going to be way too late. So don't worry about me. Just hit me up when you get back. And they did, and they had ice cream for me. So that was a nice treat. Even though the ice cream wasn't the best ice cream, it was still delicious. Got to hang out with them. And then last night we were trying to figure out an ice cream place. And lo and behold, after dinner, we go to get into the cars to go drive to Dunkin' because it's the only thing open. Once again, there was an ice cream store with an open sign on, and we go to it. We run up to it, and everyone had split in two directions because one people had their hotel right over here, and others had our cars parked over here. So we see the ice cream once we get to our car, and we're like, oh my God. We called Tim, we called Harley, we called Elijah, we called all of you. None of you picked up your phone until you got all the way to your hotel. And then came back, but the doors were locked, but the lady came by and opened up the ice cream store for us, so we were able to get ice cream and didn't have to drive out on our way to a Dunkin' Donuts. So it was a really nice treat. We all got to hang out, and it was really nice.
Yeah, I had a good time there.
Man, I know I'm missing something else about Aquascaping.
Well, you're missing something about the ice cream. You never rated it for everybody.
The company was a lot better. I would say the I can't remember what it was called. It was the beach.
Hershey's.
No, the first night, the beach.
The first one.
I gave it like a 6.8 rating, and Harley's like, "Oh, that low?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's just a commercial ice cream. They're only ever going to get in the sixes at the best." The Hershey's ice cream, I've already eaten that one before. Usually it's a lot better. The cheesecake in it is solid, but it's still commercial ice cream. It's still only a 6.7. And then the other one that I had, that one was actually really bad. I think I had Rocky Road. It was not very creamy at all. That one I'm going to give like a 5.2. Yeah, that one I wish I had just gotten doubled up on the blueberry cheesecake. And then the other ice cream that we got at Cold Stone, I did cheesecake with strawberry and bananas. Cold Stone, even though it's commercial ice cream, they get a little top-notch step up because like through the process, they do what they can to keep the ice cream cold. And for that Cold Stone, I give you a 7.2.
Yeah, the ice cream over the Cold Stone was pretty good. I had the cheesecake with strawberry and blueberry.
Commercial ice cream, to me, the rule is it's out of the carton. Once you take it out of the tub, and it's not even in a tub, like Cold Stone, I think they like make it in house, and then that's why it comes out into those little troughs. So technically, Cold Stone is a commercial business, but the ice cream is made in house. I think that gives them a non-commercial rating at 7.2. Man, I know we're gonna end on the live stream. I'm gonna be like, how did I not talk about this? Anybody that placed your order, I do believe we still have some free sample packs that we'll be throwing into your order to make up for it. We did not ship out any of the packages on Saturday like we normally do, and we did not get to any of the boxes today. I did have to box up one bag of shrimp and send that off. That was for Mike Esposito, who won a bunch of awards tonight, to make sure that his shrimp got home. He's got a broken leg. He's elderly. He's not watching right now. He doesn't know how to make and work through the labels and make a return label. So I told Mike, I'll take care of you. You don't have to worry about that. And I made sure I got his shrimp sent home, and everybody else's shrimp. We got to take them to 2 different locations. Tim drove, so I could just run into UPS, throw in the box, and run out, and then USPS to drop off all the others. So we made sure we took care of that, and that was all squared away. I didn't have time to get to the orders, though, so those will be going out tomorrow with extras. And then, yeah, we're I know I have a live stream planned for next week. I just don't know exactly what it's going to be. So I see Ruben in the equation. Hopefully next month we've got Houston. I'm also like, I'll see what Shelby says or what her facial expression looks like when I walk into the room, but I'm really thinking about maybe just doing the Ohio Cichlid Association and just doing OCA, even if we don't do like a crazy booth. You know what I mean?
So they sell it out of the room up there, from what I've heard.
Yeah, but you can always get just a hotel down the road or something like that. You know what I mean? Go to the convention. I heard that somebody backed out of one of the booths and they have an open booth.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they filled that yet. That was a while ago. So, but with everything going on, that's possibility another booth dropped out or something like that. We had 2 empty booths next to us at Aquashella. I was going to kick down the curtain and take the other booth and slide it over so that we can put all of the unsold shrimp onto it, and then all the shrimp are already like restocked and on the table. You had a really good show. I could have brought double or triple the amount of Neo Carradina.
Yeah, things were definitely almost sold out when I showed up. What was it? 3 o'clock on Saturday. There was a lot of stuff selling out by then. Just when I showed first initially.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't there. You know what I mean? You'd have to ask the Bloomfields. So, yeah, the lesson is label your tools, but the label all my little aquascaping tools and then get them drip dried and stuff like that. I'd like to get them engraved or something like that. That'd be cool. But my dad's hammer is literally like spray painted green. Like all of his old tools have like a little dot of green paint on them, so that way he knows. Like if somebody took his tool at a construction site and go, "Oh yeah, you spray painted yours bright green on the bottom," like you know what I mean. So yeah, there you go. Oscar said you should engrave. Now we need an engrave. Oh, you know what? What if we got an engraving machine and we engraved people's aquascaping tools?
Yeah.
I don't even need to be the person to do that. Can somebody else do that? And like that's a good booth at one of the shows. Maybe not all the shows, but some of the bigger ones, because you could even do that for the saltwater side too. You got fresh and saltwater demographic there.
Yeah.
Somebody hustle and make that happen.
What's Jaden doing during the shows?
Dude, I told Jaden he should go around and go to the booths that their tanks look like crap Saturday morning and Sunday morning. And I said, you should go up to tanks that need water changes and go, hey, I'll water change your tank for $20.
Why not, right?
If I had an aquascape tank and some kid came up to me and said, hey, I'll do that for $20, I would have. The kids up the road came to me and was like, hey, I'm trying to earn money to pay for band camp. Can I cut your yard for $20? I was like, yeah, dude, absolutely. Like, I totally support the young hustle. We got to meet Tank Girl. It was nice meeting you in person. I got to meet quite a few people in person. It was really nice to see everybody and meet your new fans and old fans and people you just haven't met in person before.
Yeah, it's really incredible how many of the viewers and stuff actually come out to each and every one of these shows.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, like, how insane is it how much we see each other and we live on the opposite sides of the coast?
Oh, I know.
Like, I can take you, and I can honestly say I've hung out with you more than I hung out with Eddie this year. And I can say I hung out with Harley, who's even further away from you, even more than you, and he's on the opposite side. And then even more than Harley, I've hung out with Sam, and he's still on the opposite side of the country. So, and it's all because of these shows and getting to travel and everything like that. So, yeah. My dad didn't have his stuff engraved. He just spray painted it. I don't think you want to engrave the hard plastic on power tools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think we will be signing up for the Fin Dig next week. They asked us if we would be willing to speak, and the only reason why I haven't agreed to it yet is because I need to find out the Aquashella dates. There really isn't any show that compares to Aquashella. If there's a shrimp contest there or not, the aquascaping side of things, the whole, just the amount of people. But we're doing a show next month in Houston, and it's a reptile and aquatic show. Like there's two different halls, and you can buy a ticket for both, or you can buy a ticket for them individually. And I'm super looking forward to the vibe of that show because I've been to a lot of Repticons. I've been to the national reptile breeder conventions and stuff like that, but not like a dual show like this. Aquashella is kind of like some reptiles, but like what's a heavy reptile, not a heavy aquarium side show going to be like? So I'm really looking forward to that and doing some more shows. But I would say this year, I think I did 16 shows. I don't know for sure.
That's a lot.
I know it's a lot. After the baby was born, I've done 4 shows so far. We got one more for the year. And that's more than 5 a month. Or not 5 a month, 1 a month. So I know like we didn't do shows in like maybe February and January, but every other month I think I had a show at least one. So
wow.
And then that's not talking considering talks that I did either, because I did a talk in January, I did a talk in February, I believe. Yeah, I know I did one in January. So, but yeah, I think next year though I might even do more shows. But if I can get the water change system cranking, I have no excuse to do more, not to do more shows.
Do you have a goal number of shows?
A goal?
Yeah.
I just want to be able to travel and not feel as chaotically overwhelmed. Like this year, I was playing catch up because of the insurance company. So like me and Shelby already talked about this. Aquashella Daytona last year was like the same time, and going into this Aquashella, we were already like better off as a family, even with the baby and everything going on. Like we had everything we needed, and looking forward, like I wasn't worried about Shelby working at this job or leaving the job or anything like that. You know, we're just really comfortable going into Aquashella Daytona. Like there's stuff I really want to do to upgrade the house. There's nothing we drastically, absolutely, desperately need. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
in moving after it, there was no mail that said, "Hey, by the way, you gotta like find new insurance." So, like legit, last year we came home from Aquashella and found out we had to find new insurance. So my whole month where I like to crank out and sell as much shrimp as I can for Black Friday sales, hint hint, wink wink. Um, I couldn't do that. I couldn't promote it. I couldn't, do any of that because I was in the backyard building a fence, building a deck, building, trimming trees, and doing a bunch of just dumb stuff that to please an insurance company that in the end didn't even take us. So it was like 4, 6. I think 4 to 6 months where I was vividly stressed out of my mind about finding a new place for all the tanks to go, a way to like just organize it all to get it all done, or just find a new insurance company, or what if the mortgage company was going to step in and be like, nah, we're going to need like $20,000 a month to insure your house, or we're going to foreclose the house on you. It's like that's crazy to think about. So this next 6 months should not be as stressful as last year. I should be able to get all the stuff done during the winter that I want to do. I just need to make it past Black Friday and not break my leg.
Well, that's not very far away. I think you can manage.
Yeah, if I can do that and I can get through the winter, like I'm not gonna lie, I almost rolled my ankle jumping off the lighthouse last night.
I saw that.
Rob said something. I was like, he said something, but as you know, I actually almost really hurt myself. Like it was definitely sore walking to the car. I saw the ice cream store though, and all the pain left.
I don't think anybody would have been too happy. We needed your help.
We would have to go to CVS and buy a boot. I already know. Oh no, CVS to buy crutches. I got to get the boot from Amazon. I already know the procedure. Don't worry. We've got the evacuation plan written down. Yeah, it's a wink, wink, hint, hint. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this either. I have to catch a ton of black bar endlers outside in one of the muck bucket. Yeah, muck buckets. I don't know why
Big
everything
order
sounds
going up?
wrong, huh?
Big order going up.
Just it's gonna get cold, so I got to catch them outside and bring them inside. So, uh, last week for Aquashella, Jaden caught almost all the fish for the show.
Oh,
Yeah, I went out there behind him with the spotlight and caught all the ones that were hiding from him in the muck and stuff like that. You saw I still missed some too. You know what I mean? But
right.
I think those are going to be the test subjects to see if they can't make it through the year, through the winter. I did that with some of the orange crown tails, and they made it through the winter too. So,
Very cool.
did you see how Mount Fuji? It's the first November where it doesn't have snow.
I did not see that.
Yeah, on the peak, and it's like global warming is real. So I'm not saying global warming is a good thing, but in my case, not having to move things inside every year would be a definite benefit for me.
Yep.
But yeah, maybe the Earth is just warming up gradually on its own. You know.
Yeah.
But Layla also grabbed up and bagged up all the plants, and they both helped me out significantly. I definitely had to do more work for this Aquashella than any other Aquashella I think I've ever had to do work for too. We had escape tanks beforehand. Usually Shelby catches all of the Neocaridina for the show. She usually gets all of them bagged up and into the bins, done and ready to go. And she also does all the bags for everything else. All right, it's kicking us off now. This will be the final story.
That's the cue.
But she does all the bags. She does all the snails. I might do some of the rabbit snails. She's asked me to do some of the Malaysian trumpet snails. Despise it. You have to ask me like the night before so I can catch them at night when they're nocturnal and floating on the surface pretty much. During the day, I've never gotten them done. She'll go and get it done though. Or the isopods, one or the other might do it. She'll do all the tangerine tigers, sometimes the stardust, sometimes the raccoons, some of the tigers and stuff like that. And then I do all the higher end difficulty, caridina, the moss, and the plants. Right. Well, for this show, she was training for Pisces, so that way she could run the booth and whatnot for the show. And so I had to catch all the blues, all the black rose, all the yellows, all the reds. So I caught a lot of Neocaridina for the show that I don't normally do. Even for the Keystone Clash, which was days after she had the baby, she caught almost all the Neocaridina for the show. So she's a trooper. But I think that's it. Yeah, Nathan said it, not me. What do y'all do with the extra endlers? So the endlers should be on the website here soon. I'm hoping I got a solid month where I can ship those out and not have to worry about any losses due to really bad weather or anything like that. The shrimp have no issues all year round. The guppies I would not risk. Maybe I'll have some options here in the near future on how to do some overnight shipping and stuff like that. For some of the Sulawesi snails, maybe not the shrimp, but and some of the guppies and other fish that will be moving inside. But we got some black bar endlers, some orchid endlers, Vienna guppies, blue double sword Japanese guppies, and the orange crown tails. I think I might have said that already. I think I have another kind of Endler too. I'm not sure. Silverado Endlers. Yeah. All right. So that is going to be it for the night. Tim, thank you so much for joining me on the panel. Thank you, everybody, for participating in the shrimp contest, all the volunteers, all of the judges, all of the organizers, Aquashella, big thank you. Thanks, all supporters and everybody like that. Next week, we will have Shelby back, and we will have another topic and whatnot. I know I had it planned out, but can't think of it off the top of my head, and it didn't come to me yet. So till next time, I do also know Shelby's got a couple videos that are inching their way towards being released too. So maybe that will be us to the next live stream. So till then, hope everyone has a safe week. See you then.